one of those two champions. Nice work.
Absolutely
lock that one away.
Fantastic. Yeah, SK Telecom, they could just lock in
Lucian.
one of the 80 carries here and then pinch the 80 carry pool. So...
Alright, or the Lee Sin can be taken. Avoid that one from getting banned away.
Yeah, Clid wants to have his jungler, so he has the Lee Sin for himself. Now SK Telecom, they still can pinch the 80 carry pool because they do get first dibs.
Yep.
On the right-hand side.
I'd like to see an Ash ban. I feel like Hanwha Life are very good at playing around Hawkshot vision and keeping an eye on the enemy jungler. I think that has shored up a lot of their early games very, very effectively. And SKT, I can agree with me. Ash is going to be the first ban here, denying that one from Sangyoon.
See now if Hanwha Life try to respond.
I think a Lucian ban does have to come in. You really have to respect the Lucian Brawl. But it's likely that Teddy could just jump onto something like a Tristana as well, as Ezreal is going to be the ban. Teddy, of course, fantastic Ezreal player. But I think that SKT are going to look for something like a Trist.
Well, Tristana for Teddy.
That's what I'm feeling.
Yeah,
that's what I'm sensing in the waters.
It would be quite good against Hanwha Life's currently drafted team composition. They're extremely short range. The Olaf is one-dimensional. It only has one play style. Yorick now being banned away.
Yeah, and I actually really like the Yorick ban because if that is Khan's Aurelia on the top side of the map, I hate Aurelia into Yorick. I think that that matchup is absolutely terrible. A lot of our LCK players do like picking the Aurelia into it. It hasn't worked so far, as the Lucian is going to be banned, and then SKT can head towards that Tristana if they want to. Or they can take a solo laner here and try and grab some priority, but I don't think you really need to. I think you can save that solo lane pickup for all of that extra flexibility that you will be able to get with the fact that Aurelia can go into multiple lanes. Come on, Teddy, find that Tristana. Oh no, it's just going to be the blind Vayne. My goodness. Okay, Teddy, he's come to play this game.
Ezreal and Lucian taken off the table, and so how is Hanwha wanting to respond? It looks like it might be Jinx for Sangyoon.
Definitely going to have a range advantage there and a gigantic pushing advantage against the Vayne. I think Vayne, if you were going to pick it, you probably would have wanted to pick it in the last round, but SKT deciding that they do want to keep those solo lanes is more of a secret. This is scary. Jinx is going to be locked in. Jinx alongside the Thresh will mean definitely a lot of lane push, lane control, and power in the early game for Hanwha Life. And power in the early game, talking about that around a Jinx, is just insane because she's just going to get better and better as the game goes on. Teddy also is going to be another example of that. Now Hanwha are going to go into the double AP to make sure that this Jinx is going to be shredding in the late game, demanding a lot of that magic resist out of the rest of the players from SKT. I really like what Hanwha have put together here so far. I
think that the Aurelia can actually just be thrown into mid lane right now, given that Hanwha just selected the Zoe, but Akali...
And it's still a flex, right? You can still throw that into top lane, into mid lane. I think the whisperings that I've heard recently are that Akali does feel a little bit better on the top side of the map after the changes that have been made. But we've seen it a lot in the mid lane so far, and Faker has been an aficionado of the Akali in recent times. So excited to see what SKT are going to make of this. And so far, the skirmishing composition from SKT is just crazy. The amount of ducking in and out of vision with the Twilight Shroud as well as the final hour coming in from Teddy just means that SKT are going to have a great time if they can find some chaos in some of these skirmishes. And what have they been able to do recently? They've been able to draw out team fights and fight them exactly the way that they want to. And they did so against Griffin to beautiful effect. Despite the fact that they lost the series, those team fights fought on multiple different fronts really did just look beautiful. From SKT...
And it honestly looks like the first team that were able to go toe-to-toe with Griffin inside of the team fighting, and that's been something that's been saving Griffin in a lot of games. And here's the team composition: Jinx, Thresh, Zoe, Olaf, and Ryze. Definitely a lot of late-game power inside of this team comp that also has some of the ability to go aggressive early, so it's definitely not a type of team composition that we're used to seeing inside of the LCK. But on the flip side, Aurelia, Lee Sin, Akali, Vayne, and Braum. So obviously a lot of explosive extended teamfight potential here for SK Telecom, and likewise, they have also a handful of scaling, but definitely less early game potency.
The thing that I really love about it, though, is that SKT's composition is a dive comp, right? And so they will be able to jump onto the Jinx. We'll see whether they're going to be capable of getting him out of the way of the Dark Passage as we get into Game 1. SKT fans certainly at full voice at the moment as Mata looking to use his extra level 1 power that you do have as the Braum. Winter's Bite not going to get fished for here as Clid spots both bonO and Lava. I don't think there's going to be any funny business. I want to talk about how these team comps work because I think this is actually a really, really fun one from SKT.
Yeah, so...
Yeah, so you look at it. I just want to have my idea first, and then you can tell me how wrong I am.
All right, hit me with it.
I think it's really cool. It's like a coaching session or something like that. As you know, you've got the Aurelia and the Akali that just want to dive into the backline, right? And then you've got a hyper carry for Teddy, but a hyper carry that can self-peel relatively well once you get to that late stage of the game because it does have the stealth. You do have the Condemn to get the carries away from you. So Hanwha going to be playing very front-to-back style, whereas SKT are going to be trying to jump onto Sangyoon and Lava and just murder them before this fight starts.
Yeah, that's actually how the team fight should actually be conducted. And the interesting thing is that Vayne fares very well against the Thresh and the Olaf. And so Vayne is also able to become a mid-rangey type of AD carry inside of those skirmishes and whatnot. But early on, the Lee Sin needs to make sure that nothing chaotic ends up unfolding in any of the lanes. And SK Telecom, they have to make it to the mid-game. In the mid-game, the explosiveness for them is on about an even footing with Hanwha. Whereas early on, they're definitely at a disadvantage. And in the late game, it's also sort of anyone's game where a lot of the fighting and utility for Hanwha comes down to Zoe.
Yeah, and it comes down to Thresh as well. I mean, I think if Key can keep people out of harm's way with the Dark Passage, that's going to be very, very important for guaranteeing that Hanwha can just play this front-to-back style. Because I think the onus is on SKT to really find the advantages in a lot of these fights. It has been something that they've been able to do in the past, but it is going to be more difficult than Hanwha's just keep Jinx in the back, provide space for him. bonO goes in, causes a ruckus. Thal does about the same thing, and they just try to keep Sangyoon alive throughout these fights. All right, bonO's just going to come on over and try and take this Gromp camp. I have a feeling that Clid should be able to find him. Lava's going to be able to get first entrance, and that's going to be the Gromp stolen away. I believe that was Bertha that bit the dust right there.
That was indeed Bertha, as Agatha already went down on the left-hand side of the map, and Clid's path is... It's something. He starts on red, and then transitions into his right-hand side jungle, and I guess the rationale for that is that the only lane that you can really do anything for would be the Vayne and the Braum, but he didn't have any aggression intended inside of his route, hence the fallback onto the Wolf camp. And so bonO is off to this really massive lead here. He's already level 4. Clid is about to hit level 3 off of the Raptor camp. And it's interesting to me that he takes the Raptor camp first instead of the Krugs at the top to get the rubber band going faster on the Krugs, because now, with Aurelia's lane state up in top, if he passes up to the Krugs and consumes them, there's a mismatch in lane synergy and jungle positioning where he can't do anything in top lane regardless. So SK Telecom, at least in the jungle role, we're off to a really unfortunate start here in Game 1.
Yeah, you could imagine, though, that at the beginning of the game, this is understandable because priority is going to be with Hanwha Life in every single lane. The range advantage with only a couple of levels in all of these champions is going to mean that Hanwha will have control of those waves and will be able to push SKT under turret. So I like the fact that Clid did play defensively, but this is something that Hanwha have put together for themselves, which has gathered them this slight advantage that they do have for themselves. So you can see this wave is going to shove in to SKT, which means whole bottom side of the map is going to belong to Hanwha, because Thresh and Jinx can rotate out of this lane relatively effectively. So far, Hanwha have played around their composition very, very well. We'll see whether SKT can actually get back as we get to a more evened out state as this game progresses. Clid is down towards the bottom side, just trying to get something done. Any sort of respite here for the bottom lane is going to be important.
So far here, though, Olaf already level 5. Clid's still level 3.
Right,
Olaf has been 5.
This is Aftershock Rise, though, because that Aftershock ate up most of the aggression that Khan did throw out there.
Khan does have to be really careful. There's still 2 corrupting potions that have just been used by Thal. He does also have the Biscuit, but bonO, you can see, he's about 5.4 in terms of levels. Not quite 5.5 yet. Makes his way in, gets some deep vision on Lee Sin's Raptor camp. And now everyone knows where Lee Sin is, because he only has a few camps available. SK Telecom didn't quite roll well on the RNG as Scuttle Crab spawns on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
So that's going to be another camp going over to bonO on the Olaf here. And Infernal Drake is the first dragon of the game. And it's hard for me to imagine SK Telecom being able to get it. And the reason that I say that is because bonO's right-hand side camps are going to come up now. Lee Sin has to path to the left-hand side as his Raptor and Krug camps are being rubber banded. He has to go up there. And the lane state is actually reasonably decent right now, as Thal might have to teleport back up into top lane. And Khan has a freeze going on right now, and Olaf isn't on this side of the map. This is a very dangerous timing right now for the Rise, where, yes, he knows where Lee Sin is, as you can see the pings going down onto him. But Olaf is probably going to utilize this time and the priority to try to get the Infernal Drake, as everyone knows where Lee Sin is. This is very simple. Yep.
However, there is a control ward on this Dragon Pit. bonO is going to spot that one out. Looks like SKT are shoving their wave back into Sangyoon, who's by himself, but don't know whether SKT are going to be able to contest. Like you mentioned, there is a minion wave
in
the mid lane, and Faker hasn't been able to get hit.
Might go for a steal.
Time. Trouble Bubble's not going to land, but they are going to be able to lock down the Infernal Drake. Great start here for Hanwha with their scaling comp. Zoe, Rise, and Jinx absolutely love that Infernal Drake.
And every single lane right now, with the exception of top lane for Hanwha Life, is just doing fantastic. They have a plate down there in bottom lane. And now they're even invading the blue.
Yeah, Klid lands the Q onto the blue buff. Should be able to get that execute if he wants to, but it's going to time out.
Oh, man.
Not able to get it. That's going to be the steal.
Yeah. And bonO now level 6.5. Klid is still level 5. And now here's the other problem that SKT have, is because Klid was around on the right-hand side of the map. Oh, Khan made a really big blunder.
That's about a billion turret shots that he managed to pick up there, as the Realm Warp's going to come in from Thal. Khan trying to get out, but the flash is going to be there. Thal closes the gap, and that's going to be first blood. Solo kill for Thal, top side.
It's a really unfortunate double turret shot that was just eaten by Aurelia. Khan was doing so fantastic inside of that lane. He had a 20 CS lead. He had a fantastic lane state. And he was the real hope that was going on here for SK Telecom in game number 1. We're at 8.5 minutes. Infernal Drake coming up in 3.5. And again, it's impossible to imagine SK Telecom will have any sort of priority. Let's take another quick look at this, as Khan seemed very intent on CSing the wave. Perfect Rune Prison, able to eat him up here. Thal ends up making a little bit of a mistake right here. As you can see, the Realm Warp, he should have stepped outside of it. I read some sort of a thread actually earlier on Reddit. There was some sort of a Realm Warp bug thing where if you click out of it right at the very end, the game predicts that you're not trying to take it. So even if you're still standing outside.
Ah, okay.
I read something that just happened in another league. Not one of the major leagues like LCS, LEC, LPL, but something happened.
That's cool.
So Thal could have conserved his flash. Didn't. Still ended up picking himself the solo kill, though. However, he does not have that flash in the event that Klid would end up top.
We're going to have a look at this replay. It was Teddy getting hooked and taken down. He was dead before he could even react.
Yeah.
He did use his flash and his cleanse, but just wasn't enough. Playback was just too good. There from Key, and Hanwha are just getting absolutely everything in this early game. We sort of had an idea that SKT were going to struggle to make things work at the very beginning of this game, but the fact that they're so far behind and they're behind an Infernal Drake, it's going to get more and more difficult for them to get back into this game as Teddy condemns a minion and fails to pick up the CS. That's awful.
Definitely not
Feels real bad.
The best feeling in the world. And another thing to also mention here is that as they are behind one Infernal, they're probably about to be behind two.
Yeah.
The next Infernal Drake coming up here in 2 minutes. Khan still does have over a 20 CS lead up in the top lane.
Yeah, you can see he's still laning very, very well. Hasn't built his phage just yet, but with the fact that he has the Tiamat, he's just forcing Thal underneath his turret over and over again, and without having that tier stacked up just yet, he doesn't really have the mana to burn as far as taking out these minion waves instantly on the rise just yet. Lost Chapter has been completed, and that solo kill certainly going to be great, but kill gold is approximately 20 CS, so Khan is going to be about even in this lane, especially after this next minion wave has been consumed.
Infernal Drake coming up now in 1 minute and 15 seconds. We'll have to see what ends up occurring. Aftershock does end up dissipating right at the end there. Aurelia does still have 3 charges of Corrupting Potion still remaining. Klid being spotted out. This is the weirdest Lee Sin I recall seeing in recent times.
Especially from Klid as well, you know. Yeah. This guy's known for being the cleanest Lee Sin here in the LCK. So this has been very interesting on the pathing front, at least. Has made it to level 7, but you can see 85 to 58 is pretty ridiculous when it comes to camp advantage. And look at that. All of the turret plates taken already, and I've seen this play before. The ultimate's going to get traded now as Key does go into stasis, but he's going to continue tanking this turret. That's a great stun to come down. Last turret shot, and Teddy grabs that kill. Bane's getting kills, guys. We know exactly what this means. We saw Ruler do ridiculous things. Now Mata has to use the flash. Stand behind me is going to come back up again as Teddy means that he doesn't need to use it. That's great news for SKT fans.
This is still going to be an Infernal Drake capture, and SK Telecom, they're trying to make the most of the situation by responding with Herald. But that's not the best trade-off by any means. Klid is starting this lava. Going to come over and make things a little bit difficult for him, though.
Yep, and no Infernal Drake to be taken just yet. So Klid did decide to go for Shelly, but
I'm not sure what Olaf's actually doing. It looks like actually Hanwha Life, they want to just have an Infernal Drake fight.
Yeah, that's going to be the Vanguard's edge, but the Dark Passage comes in. Key doesn't land the hook onto the target, so that's going to mean that SKT regain control of Shelly's domain. Mata moving on over to answer Key's roam, but it looks like SKT should be able to lock this one down. bonO wanting to make it a 50-50 as Undertow doesn't hit the target. Teleport to come in as Rise is looking to pick up a buy and make his way back. They do manage to take him out immediately though, and remember, okay, Shelly's going to lose her patience. She heads back into the pit, but it's a 5 group of SKT members, and Hanwha Life, they lose one already.
Yeah, this is really looking reminiscent of some of the Griffin games where Griffin is behind, finding themselves in really bad spots, but then end up out team fighting their way to victory. Now they're going to pick up an Infernal Drake that Olaf decided he didn't want to get. It was very urgent that he made it over to the 100 gold Rift Herald, God forbid.
Yep.
To get the second Infernal Drake.
Oh no, that's really
team.
Important, man. Especially when you're probably not going to be able to throw it down and pick up too many plates, as it is 13 minutes and 20 seconds into the game, and it's likely that Khan should be able to get over here and potentially cause a ruckus.
I'm going to need you to relax, okay? No one wants 2 Infernal Drakes anyway. All right, it was imperative that he made it to that side of the map. In the end of this, SK Telecom, they now even up the Infernal Drakes. A third one is spawning.
Damn, it is a fiery day today.
It is a really fiery. You know, it's very warm outside. Oh, is Shelly gonna actually?
Shelly might be able to get some here, and that's Sangyoon picking up all of the plates bottom lane and all of the plates top lane. Man. This is a gigantic jinx. Look at that. 2.4 thousand gold ahead at 14 minutes into this game. Shelly is eventually going to die, but she did her job. Fantastic work, Shelly Rivers. Nailed it as Fake is looking to try and get some damage done down to this bottom outer turret, but speaking of damage done, it's already there. For Hanwha Life right now, that is a gigantic jinx.
And we just take a look at this replay from a few moments ago, and this was really just Hanwha Life being needlessly over-aggressive. Right there at the very end, turret shot was already coming in. The Ignite from Mata as well, and so SK Telecom, they managed to pick up a kill there. We didn't see Olaf charge all the way from the right-hand side of the map instead of eating the Infernal Drake, but Thal maybe teleported the split.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yep, next to a wall.
SK Telecom really appreciated that.
He was like, where's the poppy? Oh wait, Vayne does that as well.
Now he's going to push out the bottom minion wave here. He has the Archangels, definitely still waiting on completing it into the Seraphs. But SK Telecom are definitely more in this game than they were just a couple of moments ago. Thal canceled. Yeah.
Twin Disciplines is going to come down here as Klid gets the kick flash, lands the Q. That's the clean Lee Sin play that we're expecting from this guy. And that is yet another kill. On to the Rise.
Massive amounts of pressure relief as well as the Aurelia continues to get big and accelerate. And that is one of the champions that, as we talked about, wants to reach the backline, wants to get onto the Jinx and the Zoe along there with the Aurelia.
All right, Ultimate is going to land there from Mata, but that's just going to deter Hanwha from pushing any further. Faker down here does have that Shroud available, so isn't in too much trouble. But this is the thing that I'm scared about, right? Because if Hanwha moves a minion wave up towards a turret, who stops Jinx from just shooting the turret to death? Because they're so short range on the side of SKT. Yeah. They need to all in to try and kill Sangyoon at any of these sort of siege scenarios, right? But then it's so hard to get around Lava, who's throwing out trouble bubbles. Oh, he landing all of the hooks at the moment as well is going to be really hard to contend with. So SKT should lose this outer turret in the mid lane. Sangyoon tanking up that one. Didn't want to, but
they end up getting the mid-tier 1 turret. It is going to come at the cost, I do believe, of the top tier 1 almost going down, but the redemption comes in from Zoe.
Puts all of those minions at one auto attack from the turret, so that means that Faker's not going to be able to take that one down.
But no one's actually pathing into top lane yet. Very unusual. Jinx cancels her recall, heading up there now as Faker showed that I guess he wanted to stay up there. He has the Gunblade completed right now. We'll take another quick look. Comes over the wall. Khan able to get the stun there and cancel the Rise ultimate. And then right at the very end, having to commit his flash, but ends up getting the Dragon Kick regardless.
Kick flash through the Vanguard's edge as well for the extra damage into the easy Q. That was just very clean.
10 plates. Add a 0 to the end of SK Telecoms, and you get.
Yeah, I can do 10 times mathematics. That is math that I can take care of.
That's pretty simple, man.
Yeah, I can do that. But that is definitely, and also, all of that gold went to Sangyoon.
Yeah,
every single bit.
That is 10 plates inside of the Jinx.
Just nutty. I think Key shared a bit of it, but that is still very, very frightening stuff, and she is extraordinarily accelerated. That is an entire item ahead, and the item is an Infinity Edge. So we're checking out that gold. Once again, it's closer to 3,000 gold than 2 in the lead for the Jinx. The thing is, that's actually a little bit misleading, because what do we talk about for SKT's composition? Their comp, what it does is kills Jinx.
Yeah, they want to kill Jinx. They want to get into the backline. But the way that Hanwha Life will conduct themselves in future team fights is the Zoe will try to endlessly land bubbles and paddle scars. And if they try to jump onto the Zoe, then Jinx is the angry parent.
Yep. Well, Fake is trying to get out of here. Does a bit of a backflip and does create some distance between Hanwha Life and himself. Another Q is going to land there, but it's a Dark Passage that does get them out. Oh, just the tip of the Q is going to go wide. Oh, the Infernal Drake has been started. Marta is extraordinarily low. Does have the Glacial Fissure available, but it looks like a bit of a leash here for Hanwha Life. Khan waiting on the flank. Wants to get in there. It is going to be a 50-50 most likely as Klid gets on over. bonO still at about half health. As Zoomega Death Rocket gets rid of Teddy. And Klid has to get out. Not going to be able to contest this dragon anymore. And that is second Infernal over to Hanwha Life. And another kill over to Jinx.
And now they're going to make their way immediately into mid lane. SK Telecom are in a horrible position after they were forced to retreat through the south side of the river. This is going to be the second mid-turret going down here now. Hanwha Life, they're going to be able to pick that up quite handily. 3.3k gold lead. Raptor Camp going down. Red now as well.
Yeah, this is going from bad to worse here for SKT fans. Because what do we say? We mentioned the fact that they wanted to win fights, win skirmishes around this mid-game. Well, already they've won one and lost one, but they lost an Infernal Drake afterwards, and the Jinx is only getting more and more ahead. It's 50 CS the advantage, as well as the fact that he managed to get all of those plates and a couple of kills.
Yeah. This is definitely a nightmare situation, and to make matters worse, a Mountain Drake will be the next dragon spawning. Take another quick look at the replay here. You can see that SK Telecom, they're really posturing with what they want to do, and it's very difficult to just commit to the Infernal Drake, as Hanwha Life would be able to light them up all too easily from this location. Their concave is definitely superior inside of the river here. You can see Khan.
Oh, paddle style is really
Faker.
nice from Lava.
Yeah, they have a very difficult time getting in here. Teddy tumbles, presses cleanse, not flash.
No.
I got it.
He did get it.
Nice.
I'm going to write that down in his little book.
Yeah, I don't
Nice.
know. What were you possibly writing down there?
Nice. Got kill. Don't sub Sangyoon. Maybe he's keeping a tally, you know? This is a 10-man roster, remember?
I'm mad.
It's not likely that Clever is going to get any game time, though. Sangyoon has been playing pretty well. SKT getting routed. Around this map at the moment, the Baron is still available, but you can see bonO, he has complete run of the show. Olaf's really have not had very much joy in recent games, but bonO is showing us exactly why his gets banned all the time. Because he's an Olaf that's been able to get things done in the early game. Really been able to carry it through. Unbreakable from Mata is going to stop that paddle star from doing much of anything. As Glid wants to find the kickback, gets it onto bonO, but doesn't get anything out of it.
Yeah, nothing is going to come from that kick. And yeah, Kali is well farmed up, has the Hextech Gunblade, has the Oblivion Orb, and the Sork Pen Boots. And so Faker can definitely deal quite a bit of damage, but Jinx does have that magic resist already.
Yeah, this is the scary
thing. Inside of the Quicksilver Sash.
Also has a stopwatch. There are, in fact, 3 unused stopwatches on the side of Hanwha Life. So if anyone gets dove on, they are going to keep themselves invulnerable for quite some time as Faker. Playing aggressively, but that's something that you can do here as Paddlestar goes wide. That one doesn't, though. That's the Trouble Bubble landing. Cleanse is going to be utilized. Super Mega Death Rocket eaten by Khan. Faker is going to stay alive. Looking to head back home now as SKT get some vision around this Baron area. Not over yet till the fat lady sings, guys. 4,000 gold, nothing to write home about. 4 turrets to 1 means that SKT just needs to get some form of control of this game, and the standing gold on the map will be able to get them back into this. Comeback mechanics for this particular composition are difficult, and when you get Raptors that you've been spending a lot of time taking down stolen away from you as well, it's only going to make things worse.
Icing on the cake.
Yeah, that's real bad. Zap flies through, but Sangyoon just controlling this topside jungle from SKT, and Hanwha just waiting for the time where they can get the Jinx, the Gatling gun, take down the Baron very, very quickly.
Well, Hanwha Life now, they're posturing for the Baron for quite a while now. It is only 23 minutes, but their champions do have more damage than normal at this time because of the double Infernal Drake as well as all the turrets that have been captured. So Hanwha Life now, it does look like they are looking to set up some sort of potential bait. Blue Trinket is used inside of the Baron pit, and now SK Telecom, they're fully aware of what's going on here. I'm actually really surprised that Hanwha's not budging from the location.
No one would expect them to stay there forever.
Oh man, if that actually
was really close. Cleared. Oh no,
Cleared?
Oh no, there's the flash play. Does get the safeguard flash and even cues himself to safety. That was some really nice reactions, but I have a feeling that Clid had an idea that someone might have been in that brush. Does get the flash out of the Lee Sin though, and that's going to be a big deal in going for these Baron fights. Lava, he's holding on to a flash on his W.
It was really surprising to me that Key went for the engage on the Thresh rather than just the Zoe bubble going off first, because then the eventual drowsiness would guarantee any sort of a follow-up. Lee Sin wouldn't be able to get away.
All right. One rocket lands on Namada, but otherwise he's going to be A-OK. Faker wanting to get into position here is... All right, Khan, that is aggressive.
Man.
Goes into his stopwatch, but the Chompers are going to be there, and Lava does pick up that kill in the end. Super Mega Death Rocket softens up these members of SKT in the front line.
Oh, Teddy.
Oh, no, this is a disaster. He's over onto the red buff, trying to get some health back here. We'll be able to take this one most likely. Nope, that's stolen. That's Lava that picks that one up, and that was definitely optimistic for Teddy there.
Is not going the way of SK Telecom here in this game. Sangyoon coming over, clearing out some vision as Thal ends up starting the Mountain Drake, and this will definitely help the Jinx shred through that Baron. There's also still some tier 2 turrets remaining for SK Telecom.
May as well grab the Baron buff before you take those ones down, though. I have a feeling that Hanwha should be able to get it pretty easily as
I don't know what Khan was doing here. There's actually there's nothing to analyze. It's just he was trying to poke the bear.
That was not a flawless duet.
That was definitely not a flawless. That was not. That was like an American Idol audition.
Oh no!
You know
one of the bad ones.
Yeah, like the first round.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's bad news bears.
Definitely the bad news bears. So here, I mean, the gold gap has remained relatively close as the game has been dragging on, and so what SK Telecom are going to need to do is they're going to need to do their best Griffin cosplay and try to out-muscle Hanwha Life inside of an extended team fight. And if they can do that, they can definitely get back into the game. All it would take is one team fight victory for this game to suddenly become even again. Look at the bounties on the side of Hanwha.
850 for the Jinx. They need to find Sangyoon out of position. The thing that's really, really hard, though, is to play around Key in his positioning, because Key has been playing this game so far extraordinarily well. He got the advantage bottom side of the map, he's had the dark passages when they need them, and he's been able to land these key hooks. So making sure Sangyoon isn't in key range is going to be important for SKT as well. We mentioned that this is a finesse composition. Well, they're going to need even more of it with a 5,000 gold deficit. SKT with all 5 members are here, and Marta's going to go for this one. The Dark Passage is available, and Sangyoon does take it in order to get out. bonO is going to be taken, but Marta is going to be traded for it. Zoe picks up that kill. That's a big flash already utilized as Faker trying to get out of there, but look at these rockets. Pow is going nuts into the backline. The slow lands from the zap and lost for about forever as Sangyoon's the one that picks up the kill in the end. No Vayne, no worries. The bottom lane is destroyed, and without a smite, Hanwha going to go for the Baron.
Hanwha now pathing over to the left-hand side. Lava.
Aggressive as Khan dives forward and just cops the paddle start of the face. Interesting.
Lava knows that he's not needed to actually take the Baron, and so he's just trying to deal as much damage as possible to some of these carries. On the side of SK Telecom, Thal now on duty to try to stop the Lee Sin. You can see that he's just looking for a rune prison.
Yep, and the Baron is just going to get taken down. Lava from over the wall. No way that Glid was going to make his way in there. So Baron goes for free over to Hanwha Life after the bottom lane of SKT gets taken down. Let's have a look at this fight one more time.
And you can see the fight starts off reasonably well, but then Sangyoon, via that Fresh Lantern, able to get out relatively okay. Olaf goes down, but then Faker ends up eating an enormous amount of damage. Glid escapes by the skin of his teeth. And then the Realm Warp able to get Sangyoon back into a good position, able to finalize the kill onto Teddy there. As SK Telecom, it looks pretty dim.
It does. It certainly does. And I just feel like this Jinx pickup was the nail in the coffin. It really did mean that Hanwha not only had control in the early game with the extra range that Jinx provides, but also gives them an insurance policy as they move into the later stages. So Hanwha just playing this front-to-back composition with the extra safety of Key's Peel. Key's Peel. Get it?
Key and Peel?
Yeah, that was part of my joke. Yeah, it's just really beautiful to watch here from Hanwha Life. And this is the kind of team fight that they like, as Glid tries to go for the Hail Mary, but he doesn't really have much of a health bar. And he's just going to die before he can really do anything. I do respect it. I respect the idea. But it's not going to win you the game here on SKT's side. They're just too far behind. They're going to take down one inhibitor. Hanwha Life now just looking to try and end this game. 4 versus 5. Redemption's going to come in, and look at this. The Jinx just does so much damn damage to these Nexus turrets. Marta once again throws out the ultimate, but finds no joy onto anyone. Thal in the front line. He's going to go into the Zhonya's. Final hour has been popped, but Teddy just dies. It's the Thresh that even picks up that kill. Is now Faker. He's in the Shroud, and he might just die before anything happens. He does. Lava picks up that kill, and Kang goes back to the fountain. He's looking for the next game. Klid's going to respawn, but he respawns just to watch his Nexus die. Sangyoon's trying to get these auto attacks onto the members on their fountain as Khan does go down. That's going to be that. Hanwha Life onto the fountain here just to grab extra kills here for Sangyoon, and the Nexus will fall in the end. Hanwha draw first blood today against SK Telecom T1. They'll need to go back to the drawing board when it comes to the draft for this one.
Yeah, and SK Telecom probably were not coming into today's match expecting to lose. Game number 1, I don't think anyone would have expected this kind of result. Obviously, Sangyoon on the Jinx absolutely massive. He was basically a rogue planet.
He was.
Just drifting through SK Telecom solar system.
But he was also just built up. Like, I feel like he was the planet, but the architect of the planet was Key, who landed all of those hooks, delivered all of those kills over to Sangyoon, created that great early game and transitioned it into a beautiful late game as well. We teed up for you exactly how the team fights were supposed to look if SKT were going to win, and it involved Key not managing to use the Dark Passage to get Sangyoon to safety.
Right.
What did he do every team fight? He used the Dark Passage to get Sangyoon to safety.
And the Zoe was able to do phenomenal work with the bubbles and the paddle stars, really softening up SK Telecom. And the Infernal Drakes and the Mountain Drake roles were definitely on the side of Hanwha Life.
Yeah.
And Thal, try as he might for SK Telecom, not able to, No?
I get it. I just didn't
well,
want to give
Khan was doing a fantastic job, actually, in top lane.
Yeah?
Except for that error on the Rune Prison that ended up resulting in him taking 2 turret shots, getting solo killed. He was doing a fantastic job in the CS department.
He was. He was actually controlling that lane very, very effectively, and I wasn't expecting him to win out by that much. Thal has been a fantastic player, though, and he showed that in the later stages of the game. Really baiting things out and then utilizing his stopwatch in order to get things done, and SKT are wondering where this Thal was when he was on their team in 2018. So,
well,
as it turns out, he just leveled up in the family atmosphere of Hanwha Life Esports.
I think that SK Telecom was wondering what was going on with the jungle as well.
Yeah.
As the early game pathing, I don't know what that was. That was like a treasure hunt.
And you have to remember as well that Clid was the reason why they won the last time SKT were in this matchup against Hanwha Life. Clid didn't die the entire time and just straight up smashed bonO. Over and over again. I don't think bonO managed to pick up his Olaf in either of the games. As I double check, no, wasn't able to. He played Nocturne and Lee Sin in that series. So SKT were actually banning the Olaf. I think it might be a good idea to go back to that particular ban for game number 2 if they want to make sure that they give Clid the best matchup possible. Because other teams have learned how to deal with the Olaf when it's in the hands of other junglers. But I just feel like bonO's aggressiveness and decisiveness on the Olaf pick in the early game is what sets him apart from other Olafs here in the LCK.
It does, and I mean, he managed to get such massive advantages early on, and Clid just didn't seem to know how to path with those lanes, also relative to the jungle matchup. And we take a look at the post-game breakdown here, and when Braum is chasing the carries, that cannot be a very good feeling here.
400 damage separates Braum and Vayne.
And let me tell you that SK Telecom's draft on paper is fine.
Yeah.
The way that they piloted the lane jungle synergy, jungle pathing, obviously getting solo killed up in top, was really bad.
Yeah, and it was also an example of Hanwha Life snowballing their early tempo advantage very, very well. They never let SKT actually make their way back in. SKT